Schwinn. In this video, we'll show you how to assemble the Schwinn 490-590E elliptical. Begin by selecting an area where you are going to set up and operate your elliptical machine. For safe operation, the machine must be located on a hard, level surface. Please allow a minimum work area of 82.1 inches by 57.9 inches. Be sure that the workout space you chose has adequate height clearance, taking into consideration the height of the user and the maximum height of the pedals with the incline fully engaged. Before you begin the assembly, please make sure you read the assembly manual thoroughly, as it contains important safety warnings and assembly tips. Please note, this procedure may require 2 people. See the assembly manual for a complete parts list. A right R and left L decal have been applied to the parts to assist with assembly. Select pieces of hardware may have been provided as spares. Be aware that there may be remaining hardware after the proper assembly of your machine. The following tools are recommended for this assembly. A ratchet is provided to assist with the assembly process. When properly set, the ratchet can be used to quickly remove and attach hardware. To tighten the hardware, rotate the ratchet in the clockwise direction and have the directional switch point to the right as shown. To remove or uninstall hardware, rotate the ratchet in the counterclockwise direction and have the directional switch point to the left as shown. Rotate the ratchet handle to see if the ratchet handle is set to turn in the desired direction. If the tool does not rotate the hardware in the desired direction, use your finger or thumb to push the directional switch until it snaps to the other side. The tool should now allow rotation of the hardware in the other direction. Step 1. With the box near the intended workout area, open the top flap of the box and safely cut the corners of the box. Be sure not to injure yourself when cutting the box with scissors or a box cutter. Keep hands and fingers away from the motion of the scissors or box cutter at all times. Be aware that the box has shipping staples which can be harmful. Keep your hands and fingers away from them at all times. The box can be used to protect the flooring. Step 2. Keeping the area clear along the short ends of the box, unpack, leaving the main assembly on the 2 lower shipping blocks. Do not cut the shipping zip ties on the rail assembly or main assembly until instructed. Be sure to remove the shipping insert rod from the incline lift motor arm of the main assembly before removing the upper shipping block. Remove and set parts aside for assembly. The zip ties should remain in place as well as the 2 lower shipping blocks. Step 3. Begin Step 3 by attaching the rail assembly to the main assembly. In order to avoid possible serious injury when attaching the rail assembly to the main assembly, be careful to avoid fingers or hands being caught or pinched. Do not place fingers or hands below any pivoting parts of the rail assembly. Some parts can be slightly shifted to assist its alignment. Remove all hardware from the rail assembly before attaching it. At first, only hand tighten all hardware. Then, with all of the hardware started, fully tighten. Fully tighten all hardware using the provided wrench. To tighten the hardware, turn the ratchet tool clockwise and have the directional switch set on the right side. If the tool does not rotate the hardware in the desired direction, use your finger or thumb to push the directional switch until it snaps to the other side. Once the rail assembly is attached, cut the shipping zip ties from the rail assembly and attach to the incline lift motor arm of the main assembly. Attach the incline motor arm using the provided hardware. The hardware is not supplied in the hardware bag. Please note, if loose washers were supplied pre-installed, be sure to use them on your machine. Fully tighten all hardware using the provided wrenches. Step 4. Please note, this step may require 2 people. Safely pivot the frame assembly into an upright position. Some components of the machine can be heavy or awkward. Use a second person when doing the assembly steps involving these parts. Do not do steps that involve heavy lifting or awkward movements on your own. Have a second person assist by lowering the rail assembly. Do not cut the shipping zip ties that secure the lower handlebars until instructed to cut them. Step 5. Slightly lift the frame assembly and remove the shipping block from under it. Some components of the machine can be heavy or awkward. Use a second person when doing the assembly steps involving these parts. Do not do steps that involve heavy lifting or awkward movements on your own. Gently lower the frame assembly. Lift the frame assembly from the inside pivot area as indicated. Step 6. Begin by locating the console mast and placing it on top of the frame assembly. Connect the cables and then attach the console mast to the frame assembly. Some components of the machine can be heavy or awkward. Use a second person when doing the assembly steps involving these parts. Do not do steps that involve heavy lifting or awkward movements on your own. Do not pinch or cut the cables. To assist with not pinching, gently pull the cables from the top of the console mast as it is lowered onto the frame assembly. Secure the console mast using the provided 4-part A screws. Fully tighten all hardware using the provided wrench. Step 7. Begin by locating the console assembly. From the opening on the back of the console assembly, gently remove the loose end of the cable from the console assembly. Then remove the hardware from the console assembly. Do not pinch or cut the cable. Do not allow the hardware to fall into the console assembly. Hardware is not supplied in the hardware bag. Remove the hardware using the provided screwdriver. Set the hardware aside for reassembly. Step 8. Begin by placing the console assembly onto the console mast. Pivot and secure the console assembly to the console mast and then connect the console cables. Do not pinch or cut the cables. Using the previously removed hardware, attach the console mast to the console assembly. Fully tighten the hardware using the provided screwdriver. Next, connect the console cables. Be sure to fully connect the cable connectors. Once connected, push the cables into the console mast. Step 9. Begin by locating the console pivot cover. The cover gets attached to the frame assembly behind the console assembly. If necessary, adjust the angle of the console assembly using the provided wrench. Then attach the console pivot cover to the frame assembly. Slowly push the cover into place. Step 10. Begin by locating the legs. A right R and left L decal have been applied to the parts to assist with assembly. Attach the legs to the frame assembly as shown. Do not cut the shipping zip ties. Lubricant has been applied to some of the hardware involved with this step. Be sure to have a cloth or a paper towel available to wipe any excess lubricant off of your hands after installation. Hardware is not supplied in the hardware bag. Mount the leg first and then secure it in place with the provided hardware. Make sure the leg lies straight on the rails. Fully tighten all hardware using the provided wrench. Repeat these steps for the opposite side. Once both legs have been tightly secured, Step 10 is now complete. Step 11. Begin by locating the zip ties located on the bottom side of the lower handlebars. Cut the shipping zip ties that secure both lower handlebars, then attach the pedals to the frame assembly. In order to avoid possible serious injury, when inserting the end of the pedal into the lower handlebar, be careful to avoid fingers or hands being caught or pinched. Be sure to stay out of the path of the handlebars. Do not fully rotate the lower handlebars, or damage to the cables in the handlebars will occur. When inserting the pedals into the legs, be sure that the post is centered with the opening of the leg. Lubricant has been applied to some of the hardware involved with this step. Be sure to have a cloth or a paper towel available to wipe any excess lubricant off of your hands after installation. A right R and left L decal have been applied to the parts to assist with assembly. Be sure the key on the pivot pin is fully set into the notch on the lower handlebar. Slightly rotate the pivot pin to assist with the proper set. The pivot pin will be flush with the outside of the lower handlebar when properly set. Secure the front using the provided hardware. Fully tighten all hardware using the provided wrench. Secure both ends. Hardware is not supplied in the hardware bag. Repeat these steps for the opposite side. Once both pedals have been tightly secured, Step 11 is now complete. Step 12. Begin by locating the upper handlebars. A right R and left L decal have been applied to the parts to assist with assembly. In order to avoid possible serious injury when inserting the tube ends onto the lower handlebars, be careful to avoid fingers or hands being caught or pinched. Some components of the machine can be heavy or awkward. Use a second person when doing the assembly step involving these parts. Do not do steps that involve heavy lifting or awkward movements on your own. Do not pinch or cut the cables. Connect the cables. While inserting the upper handlebar, gently pull the cable down into the lower handlebar and attach the upper handlebar. Secure both handlebars using the provided screws, 4 per handlebar. Fully tighten all hardware using the provided wrench. When the upper handlebars are attached, push the exposed cables back into the upper handlebars as far as possible without damaging them. Once both upper handlebars have been tightly secured, Step 12 is now complete. Step 13. Begin by attaching the interior covers first. Attach the interior handlebar covers and then snap the exterior handlebar covers to the frame assembly. Push the cover through the allocated rail holes as shown. Do not pinch or cut the cables inside the handlebars. Before installing the hardware, inspect to be sure that the hardware will not cut any of the cables inside the handlebars. If necessary, adjust the cables and inspect again. Secure the interior handlebar cover using the provided screws. Fully tighten the hardware using the provided screwdriver. Snap the exterior handlebar cover to the frame assembly and repeat these steps for the opposite side. Do not pinch or cut the cables inside the handlebars. Step 14. Clear a path to the intended workout area. For safe operation, the intended workout area must be on a hard, level surface. Allow a minimum workout area of 2.1 meters by 1.5 meters, or 82.1 inches by 57.9 inches. Keep the workout area clear 0.6 meters, or 24 inches, along the inside used to access the machine and to the rear of the machine. This is the recommended safe distance for access and passage around and emergency dismounts from the machine. Be sure that the workout space you are utilizing has adequate height clearance, taking into consideration the height of the user and the maximum incline of the machine. Keep third parties out of this space when machine is in use. Step 15. To move your machine, using the transport handle, tilt the machine onto the transport wheels and then safely roll and lower it into the intended workout area. Do not use the handlebars, console mast, or the console to lift or move the machine. Injury to you or damage to the machine can occur. The machine may be moved by one or more persons depending on their physical abilities and capacities. Make sure that you and others are all physically fit and able to move the machine safely. Move into location as needed. Place the machine on a clean, hard, level surface, free from unwanted material or other objects that may hamper your ability to move freely. A rubber mat should be used below the machine to prevent the release of static electricity and protect your flooring. Step 16. Begin by locating the power cord. Next, connect the power cord to the bottom front of the frame assembly. Make sure the power cord is pushed all the way into the power inlet on the machine. Congratulations! Assembly of the Schwinn 490/590E elliptical is now complete. Before using your machine, make a final inspection. Inspect your machine to ensure that all fasteners are tight and components are properly assembled. Be sure to record the serial number in the field provided at the front of the manual. Carefully remove the protective plastic film from the display screen, keypad, and top of the console. Due to the static electricity, ghost images may show on the screen, but these will disappear after a few minutes. Apply a small amount of silicone lubricant to a cloth and wipe the rails to eliminate roller noise. Silicone lubricant is not intended for human consumption. Keep out of reach of children. Store in a safe place. Do not use until the machine has been fully assembled and inspected for correct performance in accordance with the assembly manual. After your first few workouts, some hardware will need to be tightened again. To ensure quiet and smooth operation, make sure to tighten the indicated hardware after 3 workouts. Be sure to inspect and fully tighten all hardware monthly or after every 20 hours of use. After 3 workouts, tighten the rail assembly hardware. Tighten the inclined lift motor arm hardware. And finally, tighten the console mast hardware. Please reference the assembly manual for workouts, troubleshooting, and other program features. Enjoy your new Schwinn 490 590E elliptical. Brought to you by Schwinn.